Silence, it can be a defense, an instrument, a deliberate decision. But situations arise where silence ceases to be wise. It becomes an act of fear. The Stoics understood this principle deeply. They recognized that words, when used with accuracy and intention, possess the power to influence destiny, break down oppression, and strengthen the spirit. There are occasions when you are obligated to speak up, not out of ego, nor seeking praise, but because the burden of your silence would bind you to later regret. Marcus Aurelius once stated, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one, and sometimes, fulfilling that duty requires you to use your voice." These are the 5 situations where silence acts as a betrayal, where choosing to stay quiet is like giving up your very soul. Pay close attention, because your time for such a test will come. First, when injustice confronts you directly. There comes a point in every person's life when injustice shows its true face, raw, undisguised, demanding compliance. Many people look away, murmur that it's not their concern, and move on. But a Stoic doesn't shrink from tyranny, nor does he aid it with his silence. Seneca wrote, "He who does not prevent a crime when he can encourages it." History confirms this observation. Every significant evil that has afflicted humanity thrived, not only due to the actions of the wicked, but also because of the inaction of the silent. When you witness cruelty, deception, or oppression, your voice becomes a tool, not for inciting chaos or seeking revenge, but for upholding truth. Speak, not to display your own righteousness, but because remaining silent means living a falsehood. Second, when your core beliefs are questioned. What is a man stripped of his principles? Just a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly, controlled by the shifting tides of popular thought. Epictetus taught that external events don't define who we are. Our reaction to those events shapes our character. Despite this, many compromise their convictions as soon as they face opposition. You will face the urge to stay silent when society ridicules your self-control, your values, or your efforts toward virtue. Yet this is exactly the time you must articulate your position, not with hostility or conceit, but with unwavering firmness. A Stoic doesn't debate simply to defeat others. He speaks to avoid being defeated internally. Third, when falsehood holds sway in the conversation. The world overflows with meaningless chatter, empty pronouncements that repeat lies until they begin to resemble truth. Untruths, if allowed to stand without challenge, don't just endure. They spread and grow stronger. Zeno, the originator of Stoicism, taught that philosophy isn't about seeking comfort, it's about pursuing truth. And truth, like a sword, sometimes needs to be drawn. When deceit controls the narrative, when the vulnerable are misguided, when those in power distort reality, this is when a Stoic must make himself heard. He should speak not with fury but with logic, not with pride but with steadfast certainty. A life lived in silence while lies prevail isn't truly living, it's giving in. Fourth, when someone you care about is heading toward darkness. A Stoic isn't emotionless. He doesn't ignore the suffering of loved ones. While it's true we cannot control the actions of others, we aren't released from our duty toward them. When a person you love is being overcome by self-destructive habits, by vice, by personal weakness, or by despair, silence isn't a sign of wisdom. It's an act of surrender. Seneca reminds us, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. And occasionally, to assist another in living, you must find the resolve to speak, even if your words face rejection. You won't always succeed in saving them. You won't always find they listen. But a Stoic doesn't evaluate his responsibility based on the result. He evaluates it based on whether he possessed the courage to take action. Fifth, when you recognize the truth but hesitate to voice it due to fear. Fear is the ultimate suppressor of speech. Fear of being rejected, fear of negative outcomes, fear of being isolated. But a central tenet of Stoicism is this: memento mori, remember you will die. When that time arrives, will you lament the words you failed to say? Truth left unspoken is truth squandered, and a squandered truth leads to a squandered life. An occasion will arise when you possess the truth, when it burns inside you, crying out for expression. Yet you will pause. That hesitation defines your character. Will you let fear govern you, or will you embrace the wisdom of the Stoics, resolute, constant, and unafraid? The final challenge: a Stoic doesn't speak just to make noise. He avoids trivial conversation and pointless arguments. His words are measured, controlled, and purposeful. However, when the situation demands speech, when the weight of staying silent would mean betraying his own principles, he acts without delay. He shows no indecision. There are words you will be called upon to utter during your life. Some may seem minor, others might feel earth-shattering. When that critical moment arrives, do not permit fear to silence you. Because the world doesn't require more quiet acceptance. It requires more voices that speak, not for recognition, not for influence, but because the truth demands to be heard. Stand resolute, speak with wisdom. Live as the Stoics lived. Embracing this Stoic courage to speak truth is a powerful step on your journey of personal growth. It's about applying ancient wisdom to modern challenges, finding strength not in loud assertion, but in principled conviction. Mastering when to be silent and when to speak up is key to living with integrity and purpose. What are your thoughts on these 5 moments? Have you faced situations where silence felt like a betrayal, or where speaking up required immense courage? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your story could inspire others. If you found value in exploring Stoicism and the power of purposeful speech, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We regularly dive deep into Stoic principles, practical wisdom, and strategies for building resilience and character. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our upcoming videos, where we'll continue to unpack timeless wisdom for navigating life's challenges. Stay tuned, stay strong, and keep seeking truth.